والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Today's hadith is on the etiquettes of drinking water. So today's narration is about do not drink while standing. There are two hadiths under this heading. The first hadith, وعن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه نهى أن يشرب الرجل قائما رواه مسلم. Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has forbid that anyone should drink water standing. This hadith is narrated in Imam Muslim Sahih. The second hadith is by Abu Hurairah. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يشربن أحدكم منكم قائما فَمَنْ نَسِيَ مِنْكُمْ فَلْيَسْتَقِي رواه مسلم. Anas bin Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, none of you must drink standing. If anyone would forget, then he must vomit. So now, first and foremost thing, the emphasis of the hadith regarding prohibition of standing up and drinking. What category of this prohibition that the fuqaha has taken? And why the fuqaha has taken that stand? It's a very important thing to understand, because if you just look at the hadith, if someone has standing up and drinking water and he has done this forgetfully, then he should vomit. So what does that mean? What does this hadith mean? Based on looking on the other narrations of the Prophet ﷺ. The first thing is to sit down and drink. It's a very highly recommended sunnah. Some fuqaha has said that it's sunnah, and some of them have said it's sunnah mu'akkada due to this hadith. But none of them have said that it's prohibition. Why? Because there are other narration in which the Prophet ﷺ, he drank water while he was standing up. And there are many reasons why he did that. Maybe for some water, or the place was not adequate for a person to sit down and drink water, or he was at a well where there was no possibility of him sitting and drinking water. So there are numerous ahadith that explains the action of the Prophet ﷺ. However, to understand this hadith, that this hadith is talking about in normal circumstances, or the severity of drinking water is standing up, hypothetically thinking that you should vomit out rather than drinking it, because that's the severity of standing up. So in normal circumstances, in normal condition, that a person has no obstacle that can make him sit down and drink water, then he should drink while sitting down. In that condition, it is considered makruh, dislike according to fuqaha, that a person stands up and he drinks water. But in normal circumstances, other circumstances where you don't have anything to sit down upon when you're drinking water, or you're at a circumstance where there is no possibility of sitting, then at that time, the karahiyah does not exist. The dislikeness does not exist. It is permissible that you can stand up and drink water. But in normal circumstances, it is considered to be makruh that a person is standing, where he has the ability to sit down and drink water, and he chooses not to do that, then the act that he is doing is considered as makruh and dislike. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from doing those actions which are considered as dislike, because this is dislikeness in the sight of who? In the sight of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we don't want to do anything that is considered to be dislike in the sight of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant us the understanding and the ability to practice the sunnah in our life. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.